Disclaimer: RichieNicksGeeking acknowledges that we do not own the rights to the clips contained in this video. However, these clips are being used for the purposes of criticism, comment, review, teaching, and parody. Therefore, their use falls under fair use per Section 107 of the Copyright Act. Please do not flag this video. Thank you.
The world is changed. Much that once was is lost, for none now live who remember it.
Welcome to RichieNicksGeeking, my brand new channel where I'll be doing things like analyzing fantasy content and responding to videos about topics such as Lord of the Rings, A Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones, Star Wars, etc. You get the picture. In my first video, I'll be responding to CinemaSins' video, Everything Wrong with the Fellowship of the Ring. But first, a little background on why. You know, I actually used to really love CinemaSins. Used to. Back in the beginning, in a time long forgotten when they used to come close to making videos that actually were what they claimed to be. I used to save several of their videos at a time in a specific order in my watch later and just let them run while I did chores like the dishes, and I would leave comments with corrections if I'd seen the movie. I'd laugh at most of the dumb jokes, I'd cringe at the lap dance and the that's racist jokes, and skip most of the videos that were for movies I hadn't actually seen myself before. At some point, I'd had enough of their lying and manipulations of scenes, and I decided that I should do a series parodying their own where I nitpicked their videos. Then I guess Google was listening, and I found Sean and Bob Vids, then JXE back when the channel was known as SinSins, and the Birdman. Finding them stopped me in my tracks since it was no longer an original thought. I stopped watching CinemaSins at that point, and I unsubscribed. So, unlike Jay and the Birdman, I will not claim that I actually like CinemaSins and I'm just poking fun. CinemaSins is mostly unfunny, and I cannot find much entertainment in their content other than to correct it anymore. And yes, some people do find entertainment in correcting things and or nitpicking. Yes, you CinemaSins fanboys also like it too, otherwise you wouldn't even be CinemaSins fanboys. This year marks the 20th anniversary of the movie release of The Fellowship of the Ring on December 19th, 2001. I checked all of the big CinemaSins critique channels and none of them have touched any of the trilogy yet, so I decided to finally make my own version of these videos, even though much bigger and better channels already have done and continually do it. J.R.R. Tolkien's books and Peter Jackson's movies have had an enormous impact on my life. I have the One Ring inscription tattooed around my arm. I used to read The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, and The Silmarillion annually for nearly 2 decades. I was 12 when The Fellowship of the Ring came out in theaters, but I didn't actually get to see it. I had only just discovered The Hobbit around the same time the movie was released, and I had no idea that the movies were being made or released at all yet. I finished The Hobbit and I couldn't stop talking about it, so my parents gave me The Fellowship of the Ring. I tried to read it, but Tom Bombadil stopped me in my tracks. It was then that I realized the movies were already being released. My first copy of The Fellowship of the Ring had a big soon-to-be-a-movie type ad on the back cover. Knowing I had less than a year to get through Fellowship of the Ring and The Two Towers before The Two Towers was released, I started Fellowship of the Ring over from the beginning, plowed through the Old Forest, made it to Bree, and couldn't put it down from there. Since I was in middle school and had lots of other things going on, I remember I didn't actually finish The Two Towers before the movie came out, but I did see it in theaters anyway, and I finished the book soon after. And I did complete Return of the King before the movie was released though. And I'll never forget experiencing that movie in theaters. There was a young couple sitting behind me. I'd say they were in their early 20s, and the woman was being relentless with the man about Shelob because he had a spider phobia. I remember all the applause for all the fades to black, but I don't remember anyone actually complaining about that until the movie swept the Oscars later. So, as both a book and movie nerd, and with the 20th anniversary of the trilogy upon us, let's take a look at CinemaSins' Everything Wrong With videos concerning each of the Lord of the Rings movies. While critiquing the value of the sins, I will be keeping the extended editions in mind. I'm fairly sure CinemaSins used the theatrical releases, and they're probably the versions that non-fans are most familiar with, but the extended editions do actually answer some questions the theatrical versions leave unanswered. I do plan to refer to the books at times, but I also understand that the movies should speak for themselves, so the books won't be used against CinemaSins. They're merely supplementary information. But the extended editions will be because they are the movies. Now with that cleared up, let's look at CinemaSins' Everything Wrong with The Fellowship of the Ring. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon to receive notifications. I've got more Lord of the Rings content in the works, so you're not going to want to miss that. Please check out my other channels, RichieNicks for music and such, and RichieNicksGaming for gaming content, obviously. Follow me on social media at RichieNicksYT, and I'll see you down in the comments. RichieNicksGeeking signing off.